So the material is at 9. Now we have to make sure that we are aligning this edge of the material with the previous liner. In this case, we're putting the tape on both sides. At the same time, we're just folding the material, but you have to make sure, of course, that when you do a splice and you're changing rolls, you want to make sure that you're cutting these edges. Otherwise, the material is not going to be opening when you hit the when the matrix is supposed to be released. So now that the material is spliced, we want to make sure that we move a little bit the material to make sure that all the rollers are going to have the same, the consistency of the guide throughout the material. Now, the next thing we're going to be doing is that we're going to be setting up the sensors for the web guide. So you want to make sure that when the sensor is aligned into the roller, you want to have the smallest diameter dot that you can have. And you can always move this sideways and make sure that you're centered. In this case, it's very, very precise. So if the material moves to one of the ends, it's gonna be moving. Once you have those two LEDs turned on, that it means that it's detecting the material and not the roller. What you're gonna be doing is that you're gonna turn the web guide to automatic. When you're setting up material, make sure that everything is gonna be on manual. Otherwise, the web guide is gonna be moving sideways. You want to make sure that the electric eyes, you are using both sensors, and you have to set up, I believe on that machine, it turns this one on, both are green, I believe. The limits, it means that it's going to be sensing both detectors, not just one. You can make the machine just to detect one of the guides and ignore the other one, or use one of these, each one of these sides. That is something that you have to check that out. These buttons here are just for moving the web guide manually. Every time you press it, it's gonna move a little bit. And these buttons right here, this is the speed of the web guide. So if you're running very, very fast material and you wanna be doing the changes or to detect the movement or the material gap edge, the correction to make it quickly, just increase the speed. Make sure that you have it at the right speed, because sometimes it makes so much movement, it's so harsh, the movement of the web guide, that there is a lot of vibration throughout the whole web. The way to set up the labels, the amount of labels, you want to make sure that it's not counting by the meter, it's counting by the number. When you're counting by the number, you're using this sensor right here, and that sensor you just need to, with a screw, very carefully, without damaging the plastic of the screw, you have to adjust the type of material that you're using. So you're going to be checking the gap, the liner against the paper. And if you want to program the amount of labels you want to cut, you just press on setup, and you can move with this arrow, you can move the amount of labels that you want to use. For example, if I want to program for 1,000 labels, I put here 1,000. If I want to do 500, then I come back here and I do 500. And then you just wait until the machine stops. And that means that it's now saved, and the machine, when it reaches the 500 labels, it's going to stop automatically. So now we have the material spliced. Nothing is holding the material here, so now we're going to start running the labels. So now we got into the labels. Now we're going to adjust the tension. And that's it. That's pretty simple.